नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ऋषिकारुणिकस्तस्य प्रारब्धभयमीश्वर धर्मस्य तत्त्वज्ञानं च मामपि उद्दिश्य निर्मलम् तत्तु कालस्य दीर्घत्वात् स्त्रीत्वा मातुः स्थिरो दधे ऋषीणानुगृहीतं माम् नानुनाप्यजानता स्मृति भवतामपि भूयान्मे यदि श्रद्धते वचः वैशारादिति श्रद्धता श्रीबालानां च मे यथा जन्माद्यासहि मे भावा दृष्ट्वा देहस्य नात्मना फलानामेव वृक्षस्य कालेनैश्वरमूर्तिना आत्मा नित्यो मया शुद्धा एकक्षेत्रज्ञ आश्रया अविक्रिया स्वदृहेतुः व्यापको संज्ञ अनावृतः एते द्वादशैर्विद्वान् आत्मनो लक्षणे परे अहं मामेत्य सद्भावम् देहादो मोहजं त्यजेत् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे.
Thank you, Kavya, for reciting beautifully verses. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Gopala's Sukanya Mataji, Modi, Gopika, and Shivam Prabhu for hosting today's program. Coming early morning for Srimad Bhagavatam is the best way, I think, to start your day. So thank you so much for coming and taking out time. We'll start with Jai Radha Madhav. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
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 Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari.
Yashodanandana Vrajjananandana
Yashodanandana Vrajjananandana
Yamuna Tira Vanara वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नन्दनाय च नन्दगोपाकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्घ्रे
Hare Krishna. Today we are going to discuss about Prahlāda Maharaj in the womb of mother and how he listened to the instructions of Narada Muni. So it's Canto 7, chapter 7 and verse 15. So we will, please repeat after me, we will meditate on the verses. Rishi Karunikastasya Pradadubhyamahishvara Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha Mamapi uttishya nirmalam Rishi Karunikastasya Pradad Aubhyam Ishvara Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha Mamapi uttishya nirmalam. We'll have two Prabhujis and two Matajis, please.
Rishi Karunikastasya Pradadubhyam Ishvara Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha Mamapi uttishya nirmalam.
Rishi Karunikastasya Pradadubhyamishvara Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha Mamapi uttishya nirmalam.
Two Matajis, please. Tabla, Riva, you want to say? Riva, you want to say? We'll do word-to-word meaning. Please repeat after me. Rishi, the great sage Narada. Karnika, very kind. Tasya, unto her. Tayatu, Pradat, gave. Ubhyam, both. Ishvara, the powerful sage. Dharmasya, of religious principles. Tattva, the truth. Jnana, transcendental knowledge. Cha, and Mam, unto me. Prahlāda Maharaj. Api, also. Uddishya, considering. Nirmalam,
Nirmalam,
uncontaminated,
uncontaminated,
pure.
pure.
Beautiful translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Please repeat after me. Narad Muni delivered
Narad Muni delivered
his instructions
his instructions
both to me,
both to me,
who was within the womb,
who was within the womb,
and to my mother,
and to my mother,
who was engaged in
who was engaged in
rendering him service.
rendering him service.
Because he is
Because he is
naturally extremely kind
naturally extremely kind
to the fallen souls,
to the fallen souls,
being in a transcendental position,
being in a transcendental position,
he gave instructions
he gave instructions
on religion
on religion
and
and
transcendental knowledge.
transcendental knowledge.
These instructions were
These instructions were
free from all
free from all
material contamination.
material contamination.
Thank you. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Please listen. Here it is said, Dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha nirmalam. The word nirmalam refers to spotless dharma, spotless religion, or in other words, Bhagavad Dharma. Ordinary ritualistic activities constitute contaminated religion, by which one benefits by developing material wealth and prosperity. But uncontaminated, pure religion consists of understanding one's relationship with God and acting accordingly, thus fulfilling the highest mission of life and returning home back to Godhead. Prahlāda Maharaj advised that one elevate oneself to the standard of Bhagavad Dharma from the very beginning of life. Kaumar acharet pragno dharman bhagavatan iha. The Lord himself also speaks of pure, uncontaminated religion when he says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. Bhagavad Gita 18.66. One must understand one's relationship with God and then act accordingly. This is Bhagavad Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma means Bhakti Yoga. Vasudeve Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayatya Suvairagyam Jnanam cha yad ahetukam. By rendering devotional service unto the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, one immediately acquires causeless knowledge and detachment from the world. Bhagavatam 1.2.7. To be situated on the platform of pure religion, one should perform Bhakti Yoga in relationship with Krishna, Vasudeva. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhavitam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dīnabandhu Janarpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Okay. So the chapters 7 mean is what Prahlāda learned in the womb. So we are going to discuss that, and as we mentioned, we are on the verse 15. So Canto 7, chapter 7 and verse 15. So just to give you the background of what is happening here, because we are on the 15th verse. So we are continuing to hear about how Prahlāda Maharaj became a devotee. So just to let you know that, we basically in the chapter 6, Prahlāda Maharaj's classmates were inquiring from Prahlāda Maharaj that how did you get so much of transcendental knowledge? Where did you get all of this information of chanting the Mahamantra, Hare Krishna Mahamantra? Because you are in the same environment as we are in the demoniac environment, and where did you learn all of this? So then Prahlāda Maharaj is talking and giving instructions that he learned everything in the womb of his mother, and when Narad Muni was giving him the instructions. So from the 7.7.1 to 7.7.14, all the verses, they are mentioning that how Hiranyakashipu went for austerities to become more powerful. And that time all the demigods, because they were already so much troubled by this demon, they said, now he's away, now that is the best time to attack his wife and kill his son, because they were thinking that the son of demon is definitely going to be a big demon only. So then they said, okay, let's all go, including Indra. They all went there to kill Prahlāda Maharaj and to capture Kayadu. By the way, Kayadu was the mother of Prahlāda Maharaj, for people who don't know. So and it is said that, when the cat is away, the mouse will play. So as Hiranyakashipu was away, so everybody, all the demigods thought to take advantage of this situation, and then let's go and capture Kayadu. So while they were going there, Narad Muni intervened in the timely manner, and he came and he said that, no, do not trouble this woman, because she is having a great devotee in her womb. So Prahlāda Maharaj is going to be a great devotee, because the words were coming from none other than Narad Muni, who is a great exalted devotee of Lord Krishna. So all the demigods agreed with the words, and they said, and when they got to know that Prahlāda Maharaj is in the womb of Mother Kayadu, they started circumambulating Mother Kayadu, because it's always that, they always pay obeisances to the great devotee of the Lord to get the mercy of the Lord. So this is the background that, everything was happening. And over here, now Prahlāda Maharaj, because his classmates said that, how did you learn all of this information? And what did you learn? So in this, he was mentioning that, he told that while I was in the womb of Mother Kayadu, and demigod went away while they were trying to attack him, Narad Muni asked Kayadu to come to his ashram. And then while she went there for the safety, because she couldn't find anywhere else to go, Hiranyakashipu was away. So Narad Muni took her to her ashram, and he was reciting, he read the whole Srimad Bhagavatam to Mother Kayadu. And while he was giving instructions and he was reading all Srimad Bhagavatam to Mother Kayadu, Prahlāda Maharaj was also listening in the womb. So that's how he got all the transcendental information, knowledge from Narad Muni, and he was understanding and learning everything there. So Prahlāda Maharaj in the womb is telling about dharmasya. Over here it is mentioned dharmasya tattvam jnanam cha nirmalam. The word nirmalam we will put more emphasis on, and the dharma. We are going to learn more about dharma, because Prahlāda Maharaj said that he learned about dharma. Now, when we talk about dharma, a lot of people get confused with the religion. They think dharma means our religion. And some people will say, my dharma is to worship Lord Ganesha, my dharma is to worship Guru Nanak Dev Ji or any Devi or any other demigod. But actually it is not dharma, it is a religion. So each and every person's religion can be different and their faith can be different, which is okay. But dharma is common, which is the same quality. So over here we are trying to understand what is dharma. And over here we will refer to different, because in the scriptures we are saying everything from the scriptures. So over here Prabhupada has mentioned the word dharma, the definition of dharma in the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. He mentioned it's the constitutional position of a living entity to render service. That's the definition Prabhupada has given. Now over here also Prahlāda Maharaj is talking about dharma and he's referring to the word nirmalam, and that dharma has to be pure. So I'll give you an example. So for example, the dharma of sugar is sweetness and dharma of water is liquidity. So that's the natural constitution position of sugar. If we say there is no sweetness in the sugar, would it be called sugar? No. If the water is not liquid, it would not be water, it would be ice. So their natural position. So similarly, the natural constitutional position of all of us, the living entity, is to render service. But now the important thing is, who do we render service to? Are we rendering service to our own senses, to Maya, or to Supreme Personality of Godhead? If we are rendering service to Supreme Personality of Godhead, that becomes pure, that becomes uncontaminated. But if the same service is being given to fulfill our own desires or senses, that becomes uncontaminated. And we'll discuss this further by giving an example. So there are two kinds of moral people. Okay, so moral people, one category is who believe in the higher power. So they would agree that yes, there is a supreme power, yes, but their faith would be in something else. So in fulfilling their own desires, they would keep on asking. Okay, they are praying, they are rendering devotional service, but they are asking, I want this, I want that. So this is an example, like, there was a survey where one of the reporter went outside one of the big Ganesha temple, and he was asking people that what are they here for. So one person said that, I have a job crisis, I'm here for the, better job. One person was very poor, he wanted money. One person was very troubled because he did not have children, so he wanted to have children. The other person was troubled because he had children, but they were not listening to him. So all of that, they were. But what are these? These are all the personal fulfillment of desires. So they were rendering service, they were agreeing to the Supreme Lord, but they were there for the purpose that they wanted to fulfill their own desires. So this is not pure dharma. So we should understand that dharma, even though this is rendering service, they are rendering service, but we should not be inclined towards uncontaminated dharma. We should be towards pure dharma. Similarly, the other second category of moral people are, they do not believe in higher power, but they believe in goodness. They would do some kind of good. They would do charity, they would do give donation to, they would open schools for kids, they would give donation or to old age homes for the old people, or they would put water tanks in the village so that people can fulfill their thirst. So all those kinds of, at least there is mode of goodness, but that is not pure dharma. Yes, they are rendering service and they are in the mode of goodness, they are not giving any harm, but that is still not pure dharma. What is pure dharma? First, it has to be in the disciplic succession and rendering service in relationship with God and Krishna. So we have to very much understand clearly that we should always be, the Krishna has to be in the center, and any service we are doing, it has to be in relationship with Krishna, and that way it becomes pure. And everything has to come from the lineage, from the disciplic succession, from the authorized sources. in this way, Prahlāda Maharaj is giving this instruction, and Prahlāda Maharaj got this information from Narad Muni. Narad Muni got it from Krishna. So it is the lineage coming directly from the Krishna. So this is what pure dharma is. So, okay. Now one of the disciple of Prabhupada asked Prabhupada, what is higher? Is demigod worship higher or Christianity higher? So Prabhupada said, actually, compared to Christianity, demigod worship is higher. Why? Because it is still Vedic. They are still following as per the scripture. Scripture mentions the Vedic rituals and everything. So demigod worship definitely aligns with Vedic principle. So it is valid. But whether it would be purified or not, that eventually it would come. And in Bhagavad Gita chapter 7 from verse 20 to 21 and also in chapter 9, Krishna mentions about the demigod worship. And in fact, Krishna says that one who has faith in demigod worship, he empowers demigods to fulfill their desires. So Krishna is very merciful. He would fulfill all your desires. So if you have faith in someone, he will actually make your faith stronger in that particular demigod as well. But now, the smarter and the intelligent person would understand whether he has to go through the long way or the shortcut to Krishna, to reach Krishna. We can take a long cut by doing all the demigod worship, and eventually Krishna mentions that person would be purified, even though he is engaged in the devotion, a devotional service of the demigods. Still, one day he would be purified, and one day he will come back to Krishna. So over here, it is mentioned about, yes, Prabhupada mentioned, yes, Vedic ritual is okay, and slowly one person would be purified in the future. Now we give an example of like dharma we are talking about, and I'm trying to focus more on the nirmala, pure dharma that we are talking about, and we are taking different scriptures and different verses from Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam to confirm that what we have. So we'll take an example of Ajamila. When Ajamila, we know that he was not a pious person in the beginning, but in the end of his life, he called Narayana. And when he called Narayana, Yamadutas came and he wanted to take Ajamila. But at the same time, Vishnu Dutas came and said, no, you can't touch this soul because he has taken Narayana's name. And Yamadutas were confused that, who are these people? Because for them, Yamaraj was the highest. And, if the instructions are coming from Yamaraj, that should be the highest. And they were like, who are they? Why are they saying, we know that what kind of activities and deeds this person has done, and you can't stop us from taking. So they went to Yamaraj to ask that, the Vishnu Dutas have come and they are stopping us from taking. So at that time, Yamaraj also mentioned about the dharma. So he mentioned about dharma, that what is that, and he spoke actually the two verses, which we will say. Swayambhur Narada Shambhu Kumara Kapilo Manu Prahlādo Janako Bhishmo Balir Vyasakirvayam Dvadashete Vijnanimo Dharmam Bhagavatam Vata Guhyam Vishuddham Durbodham Yam Jnatvam Ashnute. So in this one, Yamaraj is telling that these are the 12 Mahajanas, and Prahlāda Maharaj, and if we can just discuss what are the 12 Mahajanas? We have Prahlāda,
Swayambhu, Narada, Shambhu, Kumar, Kapil, Manu, Prahlāda, Janak, Bhishma, Yamaraj, and Yamaraj.
Yes. So we have 12 Mahajanas. And Prahlāda Maharaj is himself, the one whom we are discussing about, is also a Mahajan. And he learned Bhagavad Dharma from Narad Muni. So Yamaraj is teaching his servants, so that my dear servant, we know the religious principle, real religious principles. So they are mentioning that, we are coming in the disciplic succession, and this is the real Dharma because we have understood it is coming from the lineage from the Lord Krishna. And Bhagavad Dharma he explains in these verses that Bhagavad Dharma is the real religion. So not religion that we say that we have faith in this God or that God, but it means surrender unto the Supreme Lord. And Ajamila at the end of his life completely surrendered to the Supreme Lord, and that's why he was following the Bhagavad Dharma, and that's why Vishnu Dutas has come to take him back to Godhead. So it is said that when we are in the Smaran of Lord Shri Krishna, one has to be basically like Prahlāda Maharaj. Krishna is saying that if you want to come back to me, to Godhead, you have to be in the constant Smaran, just like Prahlāda Maharaj. We saw, Prahlāda Maharaj could not think of anything else. All the time he was just saying, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So he was constantly in Smaran of Krishna. He could not think of anything else. Even though we know that, so much of troubled and so much of atrocities were done on Prahlāda Maharaj because from his own father, Hiranyakashipu. But we always understood that Prahlāda Maharaj never asked Krishna to give me protection. Not even once. He never asked Krishna, give me protection. My father is throwing me from the hill, he's putting me into snakes, he's giving me poison. Never. So that is why that was pure dharma, uncontaminated, because he had no desire for his own. So he was following the Bhagavad Dharma. That was the real Bhagavad Dharma, and because it was coming from Narada Muni, it was in the disciplic succession as well. So this is one of the examples that shows us Ajamil that once we surrender to the Lord, even at the end of his life, if we completely surrender, then we are following the Bhagavad Dharma. And over here, disciplic succession, as we mentioned, is very, very important. So if one says, like one time, one of the disciples asked Prabhupada that Prabhupada, these are the 12 Mahajanas and you are the 13th Mahajan, because you are in the disciplic succession. So Prabhupada smiled and he said, yes, and you are the 14th Mahajan because you are listening from me. So that's how beautiful it is. And similarly, if we are listening the instructions in the disciplic succession from the authorized sources, we would also be considered one day as Mahajan if we are completely surrendered to the Lord. So we still have hope. So Prabhupada as Mahajana, yes. So the main stress Prabhupada says is about hearing Srimad Bhagavatam in disciplic succession. So, and in the last verse of this purport, it is also called that Bhagavad Dharma is Bhakti Yoga. So, in the last line, Prabhupada says Bhagavad Dharma is Bhakti Yoga. And where did we all learned about Bhakti Yoga from in Bhagavad Gita from chapter 7 to chapter 12. Over here, Krishna explains the stages of devotion. So, there are different stages of devotion, and it is explained in Bhagavad Gita from chapter 7 to chapter 12. So we'll discuss what are the 9 stages of bhakti. Okay, we'll discuss one by one. So first is Shraddha. So we should have faith. Then second is Sadhu Sangha. Third is Bhajan Kriya. Fourth is Anartha Nivriti. Fifth is Nishtha. Sixth, Ruchi. We are revising our Bhakti Shastri. Seventh is Asakti. Eighth is Bhava. And the last step is Prema. So, Prema is the highest stage, just like Prahlāda Maharaj, when we are in constant smaran of Lord Shri Krishna. So, there are different levels of devotees. Now, Krishna is very, very merciful. So, if, somebody asked Prabhupada, if we are not in the stage of constant smaran of Krishna, 24/7, what is the, hope for us? So, Prabhupada mentioned that, if you can't do that, there are different stages of bhakti. So, if one is a step before, he can, so there are devotional services which Prabhupada has mentioned. And we are actually very, very fortunate that, Prabhupada has made this, that's why it is called Institution of Krishna Consciousness. So, he has given each and everything, it's an institution for a basic learner to learn and gain the knowledge and then reach up to the highest level of devotion. So we can start our bhakti from the very basic. It's just like we have in the year 1, year 2, and then we graduate and then do the post graduation. Similarly, Prabhupada has made everything ready for us. It's like an institute, and we have to just learn and understand and start our bhakti and progress from one stage to the other stage. So Prabhupada had mentioned that yes, there are different levels of bhakti. If you can't be on the constant smaran of Krishna, then there are devotional service, there are Vedi bhakti. So there is, you do step by step Vedi bhakti that you should go into. So there are basically, Prabhupada quotes 64 items of devotional service in the Nectar of Devotion. So he's basically telling what are the steps that you can go through to become to come into the last stage of constant smaran of Krishna. So we are not going to discuss 64 items here obviously, but we will do the most 5 which are most important out of 64 items in Nectar of Devotion. So the first one is Bhagavad Shravanam. So we all are doing Bhagavad Shravanam here, Bhagavatam, and Bhagavad Shravanam is very, very important. Second is Mathura Vas. He says that if you do your service to the Mathura Vas, then it is very, very pious. Third is Sri Murti Sevaya. Fourth is association of devotees, which is very, very important, and chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Let's chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra on this note.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
So these are the 5 devotional things that we need to do. So this institute, basically, what does ISKCON helps us? ISKCON helps us learn bhakti. ISKCON helps us practice bhakti, and ISKCON also helps us in progressing in bhakti. So everything ISKCON is very much helpful to the living entity. Now somebody said that we understand everything, but everyone needs practical engagement. So it is very, very important that we understand everything, we learn everything, but unless we practically imply, it is hard to get it imbibed into us. So we need practical engagement to control our mind and our senses. So therefore, Srila Prabhupada has built so many temples. This is for the practical engagement of our senses. Because when we go to a shopping mall or movie, so then we are meditating on the material things. So but when we go to the temple, Prabhupada made so much beautiful temples. When we are going to the temple, we are meditating on Krishna only. We are seeing how people are entering service. Oh, how beautifully Krishna has dressed. So we are actually meditating on the beauty of Krishna. Look at his mukut, look at his feet, look at the anklet that he is wearing. Wow, the Mataji has done such a beautiful shringar on him. Oh, this necklace is looking very beautiful on him. So basically the ornaments are not beautiful. When a mundane person or a normal person would wear a jewelry, they'll say, oh, this jewelry is very beautiful. But to Krishna, even if you just tie a plain piece of cloth on his head, it would look so beautiful. So he is enhancing the beauty of material things basically. The jewelry becomes more beautiful when it is on Krishna. The cloth, the fabric becomes precious and amazing because it is on Krishna. So we have to make sure that we go to temple and engage our senses in Krishna. So Prabhupada is mentioning just for the engagement of our mind and our senses, he has built our temples so that we can meditate on Krishna and control our mind and senses. So it is not going here and there, we want to buy this, we want to buy that. When we go to temple, we see Krishna or deities, we want to buy things or dresses or similar jewelry to decorate our own deities as well. So we get some ideas, so things like that, rather than taking ideas outside and doing it and applying it on us. So and one time one of the person asked Prabhupada that why did you build so many big temples, Prabhupada? You go everywhere, So, but then Prabhupada answered him that for me, I can just sit under the tree and chant Hare Krishna, no problem to me at all. But will you come and interview me just like you are interviewing me right now? So you want to learn about how did you build so many big temples, how your followers, just because we are in the big scale now, you are coming to us and asking us. So he just, Prabhupada, we know that, he's always, has answer for everything. So he said that, would you come to me? And then he explained that what we just discussed, that it is for the engagement, practical engagement of our senses and for the people to get them motivated that, if somebody has wealth, they can use that wealth for the service and in building temples for the service of Krishna. And Prabhupada lived very simple life, and it's not that Prabhupada was going to all the Western countries and he was going in big cars and everything. He did not lead by an example. He did lead by an example. He lived very simply in Radha Damodar temple in Vrindavan. He cooked himself. He had his own utensils. He worked day and night in translating books. So later, when Krishna gave him success, then he went to West and then preached. And it is also said that preaching is the family business of ISKCON, Krishna. Just like a father has a family business of sweets that goes as a legacy. Everybody would go, okay, his son and everybody would be in the business of sweets. Somebody might have a family business of fabric, or similarly multiple other things. One is goldsmith, and there would always be a goldsmith, and then there is a lineage. But over here we are talking about disciplic succession. We are not only learning, but our family business is to preach Krishna consciousness as per the Bhagavad Dharma with the pure conditional love and pure relationship of Lord Shri Krishna. So once we gradually progress, we will slowly come back to Krishna. And it is also said that if we are not in the stage, like somebody asked that we are not even in the stage of learning, first we can't be in the constant smaran. If you can't be in the constant smaran, you do the 5 devotional services that Prabhupada mentioned. If you can't even do that, you can't even learn the lecture, you can't even listen to Bhagavad Gita, you can't even chant Hare Krishna, then what is the hope for such people? Then they said, then Krishna says, offer your result to me. So if somebody is not a devotee, at least the least that they could do is they can purify their Lakshmi, purify their earning by donating it to Krishna and Krishna's activities. So that's why there are many ways. You could sponsor prasadam, you could sponsor dresses for Krishna. So this way you could purify your wealth. So now we'll take the last example of Sanatan Goswami. So we discussed about Bhagavad Dharma from Yamaraj. We discussed about how Prabhupada said about Bhagavad Dharma. We discussed about how Prahlāda Maharaj discussed about Bhagavad Dharma and pure. Now we are talking about Sanatan Goswami. So Sanatan Goswami, we will that he was in the lineage and how he was following the pure Bhagavad Dharma without having any interest or any desire for himself. How much austerities they all did, and the 3 brothers, 3 Goswamis did, and not anything desiring for themselves. It was everything for Krishna. That was the pure Dharma, and we will discuss how he was following that pure Dharma. And we learn these examples, and that's how we get we meditate upon that, and then we get the bhakti, we get inspiration to how we could serve as well, like how these Goswamis have gone through. Then sometimes we just consider that we have this, we have that problem, but when we discuss about these Goswamis, we understand that whatever our problem and our situation is actually nothing in terms of how much austerities they have done it. So we'll discuss about, and when we discuss about any Goswamis, we definitely get lots of mercy from Krishna. So we'll discuss about that. Just to give you the background of Sanatan Goswami, it is coming from the book Laghu Vaishnava Toshni, and this book is from Jiva Goswami, which describes full lineage of full family lineage. But we are going to discuss only about 2 Goswamis over here. So there was a great Vedic Brahmana named Kumaradev, Sri Kumaradev, and he was a Yajurvedi Brahmana. He belonged to Bharadwaj Gotra. So why we are discussing that he was from the Bharadwaj Gotra, to confirm that he is also coming from the lineage. So he is coming from the lineage Bharadwaj Gotra. Like when somebody is asking that what is Gotra, what is that? So it is basically what lineage you are coming. It's a sage lineage that we are coming from. Normally you would see when you go to the temple and when you are when you are doing archana or something, Panditji would ask you what's your Gotra. So that's why Gotra means that what is the lineage. It's a lineage of where you are coming from. So over here it is mentioned that Shri Kumar Dev had the Gotra, Bharatwaj Gotra, and it was coming from that, and it was a Yajurvedi Brahmana. And this Brahmana lived in Bakla Chakra Dweep in the banks of Ganga. So he had three sons, Amar, Santosh and Vallabha. So these three sons were none other than, actually Amar was Sri Sanatan Goswami, Santosh was Rupa Goswami, and Vallabha was Anupam Goswami. So all these three brothers studied at their maternal uncle's home, and the village called Sakurma. That was Gauradesh. It was also called. So from the childhood, all these three brothers were very, very intelligent. They were very scholar, and they would study all the Vedas, Shastras. They were very well versed in their Sanskrit grammar. So, and actually at that time, even when they were very in their childhood times, they had made a mini Vrindavan in their where they were residing. So, like right now, everything established. We have buildings, we have everything. But that time, nothing was established. Excuse me. Nothing was established at that time, so they were all forests. So they actually named 12 forests, just like Vrindavan. We have, Talavan, Nidhivan, Mahavan. So they named all those 12 forests, and there were also ponds where they used to take shower. They also named those ponds as Radhakund and Shamakund. So basically, they made mini Vrindavan even when they were in their early childhood age. So one day, when Sanatan Goswami had a dream, a young beautiful boy came to his dream, and he gave Srimad Bhagavatam to him. And he said, you be absorbed in the study of this scripture. And he suddenly woke up from his dream, and he just realized it was a dream. And he was looking for that beautiful boy. He was none other than Krishna himself. So he was looking, where did he go? And he was looking for that book that he gave, Srimad Bhagavatam. But he could not find it anywhere, and he was very sad that I want to read that book that boy gave me. So he was sad, and then later in the morning, and after taking his shower and after doing his puja, actually the young boy came to him, and he gave Srimad Bhagavatam, and he said the same thing, that you be absorbed in reading the scripture. He was very happy, and he discussed it with his two brothers, and all three brothers used to discuss Srimad Bhagavatam. So they would discuss, and then a lot of Vedic Brahmanas would come to them and take their blessings and take their advice that how you are doing it. They would ask all the questions of Bhagavad Dharma, and they became very scholarly. Actually, after Srimad Bhagavatam, they would read scriptures. A lot of people would come, discuss everything, how to propagate, how to preach Krishna consciousness. They were into that. So one day there was a Brahmana. There was the ruler of that village. It was Badshah Hussain Shah. What to know about these three brothers? That these three brothers are very scholarly, and they have a very much strong influence of Hindus, and so many followers are there. So because these are he was not a good king. Because he was a Muslim. He was a meat eater, and he was doing all the atrocities to the village people. He would not behave well with them. But then, for the political reason, he said, because if these three people are very popular and so many Hindus are influenced, if I employ them, then I will have more followers. So from the political perspective. So he went to them and asked them to join, even though these three brothers did not want to join them. And they said, no, we don't want to. But eventually they had to join because there was no other option. If they would deny, they understand, all three Goswamis, that if we deny, then these three people, this Badshah would be doing more atrocities to the Hindus and innocent people. So for the sake of welfare of the other people, they said, okay, we will join them. And they started rendering service to this Badshah, this king. And because they were very intelligent and scholarly, so Basha was very much happy with their service actually, and then he gave them very big titles. And it was actually surprising for a Muslim king to give such big titles to the Hindus Goswamis. So the first one, Sanatan Goswami was the Prime Minister, and Rupa Goswami was the Home Minister, and similarly the highest position was given to the Anupam Goswami also. And he was so happy that he gave them big palaces also to live. So, but now they, even though they got so much of wealth and everything, but they still said they were secretly doing their Bhagavad classes, Bhagavad Dharma, Shri Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra would come. They would call Vaishnava, invite them, host all the programs, and all these Krishna conscious activities were going on. So basically, they got, even though they got so much of wealth, but they were utilizing that wealth for Krishna only. So this is how they utilize their wealth for Krishna as well. There are other. I know we are short of time, but we can continue. So then what happened that they were using this service for the Krishna conscious activities. One day they got to know that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there, and they all wanted to meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Actually, before Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, Sanatana Goswami got a dream that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to his dream, and he said, "Come to Vrindavan." And at that time, he did not know who Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. So he woke up and he discussed it with Rupa Goswami. I had a dream, and there was such a beautiful, effulgent sannyasi who came to my dream, and he was talking and he was calling me Vrindavan. I don't feel that I have no interest now in performing the duties of this kingdom. I just want to go to Krishna, and I have no interest in this. So he was very much desiring to be with Chaitanya. Then Rupa Goswami said that yes, he is none other than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is himself the messenger of God, and he told about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that's how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is spreading the word of Krishna. When he chants so ecstatically that all thousands and thousands of people would actually go and surrender to him. So then Chaitanya, all these three Goswamis, so Sanatana Goswami wanted to just go and surrender their service to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So what they would do, they would start writing letters to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They kept writing letters that please give us the shelter to your lotus feet. We don't want to be here. We want to be there. Lots and lots of letters were there, but they did not get reply. One day, finally, they got reply from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave a very nice example. He said, if a woman is having an extramarital affair with someone, she would be very, very nice to her husband so that the husband doesn't doubt. That's just one line he gave, and all the Sanatana Goswami, they understood that what the message Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is trying to give. So he's saying, not now, it is the time, right now it is not the right time to leave the kingdom. Render your service where you are doing, but in your heart you have Krishna, and keep secretly doing all the activities. So that's how they understood, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the letter wrote that. Finally, just to cut the story short, I know we are short of time. I can finish this here?
Yeah, sure. No, you can continue.
Okay. So finally, they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, now it is the time that I should reclaim these two devotees. So one time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was going to Vrindavan, and he detoured his tour, and he went through Ramkeli, where these sannyasis were. So he went to Ramkeli, and he said, now it is the time you come to and leave everything and come and we will do Krishna conscious activities. And now we have to preach a lot. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually gave them 4 instructions as well, that how you would need to do that. And so the 4 instructions I'll quickly say is discover lost places of Krishna. Because that time, as we mentioned, nothing was established, so he wanted them to find out all the lost places where Krishna's pastimes happened. And second was install deities and establish their worship. Third is write bhakti scriptures and preach Bhagavad Dharma. Again, they are talking about Bhagavad Dharma. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is also telling Bhagavad Dharma, which is coming in cyclic succession. I'm sorry, I'm keep repeating it so that it is in everybody's mind.
Bhagavad
Dharma. Bhagavad Dharma. Thank you, Prabhuji. And Mahaprabhu also gave them those names that day, when they met finally. And they actually went secretly in the middle of the night, so that, that king, the cruel king should not find it. So Rupa Goswami and Anupam Goswami straight away left everything, and they took lots of wealth what they had, and they used it for the Krishna conscious activities. And it is also, I'll also quickly explain that they set an example for the grahastha how one should be using their wealth. So Rupa Goswami set an example that 50% of your wealth should be in Krishna conscious activities, 25% of your wealth should be for your family because obviously they're dependent on you, and the remaining 25% should be for your personal emergencies. So one should keep that. This is how one should be utilizing their wealth. So what happened? Rupa Goswami and Anupam Goswami straight away left, and they went to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, and they started doing all of that. But Sanatan Goswami still could not come completely because he had to wind up everything. He could just not vanish from there. So he would still go there and perform activities, but he had lost all the taste, and he would stop going there. And he would, like, we have sick leave. He would say, I'm sick. Just like we do the sick, we apply for sick leave. We say, on Janmashtami festival, we are sick. Or Radha Ashtami festival, we are sick. And we are trying to cheat for Krishna. So similarly, Sanatan Goswami was doing that, he is sick. So one day, this king got worried and he sent one of the servant, doctor, just check what is happening. And doctor said, he is fit and fine, and just he is doing Krishna conscious activities. He is reading Bhagavatam. He is doing Krishna, Hare Krishna Mahamantra and everything that he got really curious about it. So he put him in a jail. So Sanatan Goswami went to the jail, and then Rupa Goswami and Anupam Goswami could send a letter to them and tell them that you come. We have 10,000 gold coins. You just bribe the jailer and come back to us. So he eventually did that. He gave 7,000 coins to the jailer, and he went and performed such activities. There are lots and lots of pastimes wherein he had so much of pus. He developed a disease where he had pus, blood, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would be in so much love and he would like to embrace him. But Sanatan Goswami would say, no, don't embrace me. Even though he was such exalted, but he would say out of humility, he's an example of humility that, I am such a fallen soul. No, Mahaprabhu, you would get contaminated because of me. So he was paying obeisances and he didn't want to do that. So just to cut the long story short, I know we can meditate on this for a long time, but just the gist of it, we would say that one should be humble, and one should be following the disciplic succession and follow the Bhagavad Dharma of rendering the devotional service, which is definitely in relationship to God. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments or corrections, please?
Very nice class, Mataji. You have given nice references from Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, Yamaraj Prayers. So really, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki
Jai.
Sure.
समस्त गौर भक्त वृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद।